Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade, and today we're going to be taking a look at a kind of a support and resistance retest, actually. Let me get my orders placed here. Now we're short from 74.69, 4 contracts short there. Stop is up at 79, nice little 10-tick stop. First target's just going to be right back down to the lows, 74.44. Next target, I would love to go for a bigger one-to-one target, but we have all of these levels of support in our way, and I really can't ignore them, so I've got to take my target off right there. 74.27 is the next target underneath that. Now this area of resistance was actually formed all the way back at 3 this morning. I had a little bit of a fake break and then a shot right back up, and it didn't look like it was initially going to respect this level. You can see there really wasn't any good areas to enter short. We hit that top range, fake break the high, and then dumped right back down again. And when it blew back through those lows, it's giving us this beautiful retest of the level to the tick, and it's now dumping right back off again. So I'm going to look short here, right back down to the lows. Now, we do have inventories in about a half hour or so, about 40 minutes, so we're plenty far away from the news, so that shouldn't really affect us too much. There may be a little bit of pre-positioning, people trying to get into the move before the news comes out, but usually you don't get hit with that, until about 10 minutes before, even 5 minutes before. So we got plenty of time in terms of the news later today, and so yeah, we're just looking for a nice rejection off of this resistance at 74.78. We're in short again, 74.69, 4 contracts, 2 getting off at 74.44. So if we get that one filled, we're looking at 25 ticks on the first target, again 2 off there, so it'll be 50. And then the final one down here, 74.27, looking at 42, so it'll be another 84 on that final push lower if we can get a hit. So when we get that first target filled, we will be moving to break even just like normal, and we'll just be trailing on the way down here, hoping for a little bit of an extended move. Again, I would love to see this get a relatively larger move down, somewhere up here. Let me make that a little bit brighter so I can see it here. Make it a little bit bigger. Something along the lines of this, where you get kind of a measured move on the way down, an ABCD pattern. And that would put us down here at about 74.10, but you'll notice a problem, just like I was talking about. It puts us below these areas of support already, and I just can't try to trade through those. There's no sense in giving unnecessary amounts of profit back. Now, you could take one target off here and one a little bit lower, and just see if you can get a little bit more out of it, but with the way that this is looking to set up, typically, I'm just going to take the 2 off there where I can get them. So we'll be in this trade, hopefully not too long, especially with news kind of looming around the corner there. But we're in short, stops in place, only risking 10 ticks. The first target's already almost, well, it's 2.5 to 1. So beautiful risk reward on the trade too. So we'll be back in a little bit, see if we can start hitting some of these targets. All right, we're back. We just had news come out on crude oil. Not seeing a big reaction yet. It's just after 10:30. It got a little volatile here where it really kind of whipped around and just kind of ripped back and forth. Our stop is still in place. Our targets are still in place. We really haven't gone anywhere. We're just kind of wedging out right now, forming higher lows but lower highs as well, and just kind of getting a little bit mixed up here. Now, because of the news coming out, I am tempted, most folks would be tempted to go to break even, but the problem with that is it's an easy magnet. A lot of folks are going to get stopped out that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go above the previous highs here and try to ratchet down my stop a little bit, reduce some of the risk. It doesn't reduce it by much, but hey, every little bit helps there. So finally getting a little bit of a continuing push down here, but still not seeing that conviction from the sell side yet. I really wasn't hoping this trade would take this long. I didn't want to go through the news, but luckily our stop held us into that one. I wouldn't blame anybody for just taking the profit they had when it dipped down here before that news, or just getting out of break even and taking what you can. But in this one, we're still sitting up on it. We're still short 74.69, still all 4 contracts on, really haven't gone anywhere. Looking for the first target at 74.44, back to those lows. I do like the fact that we had an initial reaction from the inventories of a really bearish move. That's definitely, it bodes well. It bodes well for the trade. Now this is that spot again that I was talking about, where if you're going to move your stop to break even, you can, but it's such a magnet. And right there we would have got stopped at a break even. Now let's see if that actually holds true. A lot of folks are going to get nervous around this news. The news has already come out. The reaction happened. Now we're just looking for follow through. And if I would have placed my stop at break even, 74.69, I would have been stopped out at 0. Nothing in, nothing out. And maybe that might be a good thing. It may rise higher and tag us out. But at the same regard, I'm only risking at this point now, I'm risking 7 ticks on 4 contracts. So I'm risking 28 ticks to make 50 just on the first target if it can fall from here. And you can see now it's falling off that level. Very, very typical when it comes to crude oil. You get those break-even moves, everyone gets nervous, moves are stopped to break-even, they get stopped out, and guess who's not in the move anymore? Now, I don't anticipate us coming back to that level. That was the stop-out test. So I'm not going to put it right at break-even. Again, that's kind of trade suicide, if you will, but I will put it above that high. I don't plan on us coming back to those highs, not after a breakout like we had here, retest to stop out all those break-even traders, and then a dump lower. Really probably shouldn't come back to 74.69. So if we break above it, I just want to get out. So now our risk is only 2 ticks to make 25 on that first target. So just looking for a little bit of continuation here, see if the sellers can come in with a vengeance, push this bad boy down and start filling some of these targets to the downside. All right, we're getting closer to our target here, and because we had that breakout test, there was a little kind of minor swing high that was formed here, and we fell down. And with the volatility that we're seeing, I want to make sure to lock in at least some profit at this point. So I'm going to put it to break even +1, just above this little micro swing high, just to lock out the potential of it reversing now. But we are seeing that continuation. Again, that was after that break even test. Stops everyone out and starts dumping lower, and there we go. We got our first target filled. That's why I never go to break even if I've got another level of structure ahead of me. That level of structure gave us a reason to stay in the trade, even though it came back. A lot of folks got stopped out here at break even, 74.69. They just missed this entire move down, and that's kind of the problem with break even. It sounds good in theory, you take the risk off the table, but at the same time you also potentially give back or give room for it to come back on you, and that's kind of the last thing you want to have happen here. So I'm locking my stop down as it falls a little bit lower here, just kind of moving along with this cloud and getting this bump lower. We already have our first target filled, 25, 2 off there at 25, so we have 50 total so far. Looking for a final of 42. If we can get all of these filled on the downside, we'll be looking at 134 ticks on the downside. So even though those 4 contracts, and it sure made us wait for the trade, that's for sure. We got short at 950, 952, and it's already 1036, 1037. So we've been in this one for quite a while, just kind of waiting for this push lower. We'll see if the sellers have what it takes to really get that next knock down. With the aggression that we're seeing so far, we might not even have to pause it. We'll give it a couple seconds here, see if it wants to fall. Now again, I would really love, if I've got, if I had more contracts, I could easily look to scale some out at 74.18, and then again at that measured move, which was down, I believe it was like 74.05 or 74.09 or something like that down there, just for that ABCD pattern. But the way that this market is structured right now, I've got to take out what I can get here at 74.27, and oh, yeah, there's that aggression. So we got that target filled, and now it's falling. And that actually, if you split those targets up, that next target was filled all in that same push. It's a beautiful move down. So look for that move down. There will be a rejection down here, but that measured leg down, again, at 74.05, I think it was, somewhere around there, is going to be that big area of support. So we've got our targets filled, 134 ticks to the downside. Beautiful trade. Barely took any risk, and a really good learning experience, too, with that little break-even stop run there. Gorgeous trade. So 134 ticks on this one. That's going to be the trade for today. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.